Here we are, episode
Number
3.
three, baby. Number
We
three.
we made it.
We made it.
I gave us maybe 1.5.
Oh, nice. I didn't have any expectations. I was just along for the good ride.
Yeah, actually, I didn't either. I don't know, but how are you feeling?
My neck is a million times better this week. Wrist hurt. My forearms were sore going into it, but my wrist, like really, really tender and sore today. Bruises in the same places underneath the arms. Got some new ones on my leg. Not as bold, but you can see them a little bit, and it was definitely sore yesterday for sure. So yeah, I was happy about my neck not being sore. Yeah, not getting choked out 3 times helps a lot. Yeah.
You get a Thai massage?
Yeah, no. It's no.
Yeah, so
What about you?
well, as you know, I went into yesterday's session pretty beat up already. It was my 3rd straight day of grappling in a row, which is pretty atypical for me. Usually I have an off day sort of in the middle. So I didn't have a lot of go juice yesterday. You show up to wrestle this strong technical wrestler, and you're already thinking, man, am I going to make it through this thing? But interestingly, I made it out. I made it out definitely feeling beat up, but without any major, no major ouchies. But I immediately took a super cold, long shower. I couldn't summon the motivation to fill up the cold plunge and put the ice in and all that. Like, there's no way, it's not going to happen. But I'm just going to take like a 15-minute ice cold shower. And when I got out of the shower, my right quad felt like it had been beaten with a baseball bat. Now, let me just foreshadow to our tens of viewers that you did a pretty epic single leg takedown on my right quad, where I guess I probably had 200 pounds of Jordan smashing there. And then, unfortunately, today in jiu-jitsu, which was day number 4 in a row of training,
Oof. Which
I
is
was
brutal.
doing an outside pass on this smaller dude. I mean, he must be 130 pounds soaking wet. But I was doing an outside pass. I was coming around to my left as I was passing him, and he threw up a knee shield with his leg. And when he threw up the knee shield, he clocked my quad right there with his knee as I was diving into him, type of thing. So it was me diving in and him throwing up the knee and to frame. And no joke, I can't walk right now without significant pain. Going upstairs, just bending bending my leg, and there's no bruise. I have a bruise on my left leg that doesn't hurt at all. And then I have no bruise on my right leg, but I can barely walk. So
we call those dead legs. We used to do that in the Army. You'd walk up to someone when they weren't paying attention. If they were leaning on that side, it's always better. You just knee them really hard right in the middle of the quad.
Well, that's where it is. It's right in the middle of my quad, not on the inside or the outside, but just right, kind of symmetrical coming down right in the middle. And yeah, tough. Super tough. I mean, it's probably the most painful jiu-jitsu injury that I've had that's sort of long lasting. Like, I've had a few like stingers in the moment where something really hurts, something gets tweaked or whatever. But this is, I mean, I'm sitting here right now going, this is not fun. So hopefully, because I'm training tomorrow too, I know, woe is me. I'm training 5 days of something that I like to do.
It's still very tough on the body. I mean, if you don't know people, it is very tough on the body. You better summon the courage for that ice bath tonight.
And
maybe a little massage.
I think I feel better after heat. If I took a hot shower. Oh yeah. So then spoiler alert, later yesterday, I was still feeling super beat up. So I took a super long steaming hot shower and I felt a lot better. And when I got back from jiu-jitsu today, hobbling up the stairs, I was thinking, what am I doing? The cold shower? Not a chance. I'm cranking this thing up to 11 and getting as steamy as I can be. But yeah, probably cold plunge tonight if I can summon the courage to do it. But what do you think the title of this week's episode should be, given what went down yesterday?
Well, I think your post on Instagram, "A Wrestler's Revenge." That was good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a little bit.
Well, it had occurred to me that, because you had your moments in last week's episode, for sure, especially when you were passing and stuff. But the only clips that made it on the Instagram were me like guillotining you, and just, I think I did 2 clips on that. So I was like, I got to make sure that Jordan's not feeling, belittled here, and wrestlers everywhere are, going to tune out because they think that this white belt's just tuning up their boy, week after week.
Stay with me.
Yeah, let me just say, for those that have not done it, standing in the pocket with a experienced wrestler, not knowing when they are going to take you down, but knowing that they will, and you will not see it coming, and there is nothing that you can do to stop it, is absolutely terrifying. It's like, and I didn't quite know that was a thing until yesterday. Like, there were a couple of times that you flashed a couple of fake shots in previous sessions that we did together, but for the most part, you were doing like arm drags and then kind of getting to my back and taking me down. I hadn't really seen you go full out on a shot, but when I say there was 0 chance of me stopping your shot, I mean, like, if you could go negative percentages of my ability to stop your shot, I sprawled. Didn't matter. The look of surprise on my face when you were taking me down. I trained wrestling for a year. I've done jiu-jitsu for a year and a half now, very consistently, and there was literally nothing to be done. When a dude that's your size with your speed, because you're fast. You're fast. That's the thing that's so shocking about it. I just wasn't expecting the speed. Your takedowns, when you shoot, I don't see it coming until you're already in, and then I'll do a sprawl, and it didn't matter. Like, you're just a bowling ball. Like, when you decide that I'm going down, I'm going down. So,
well, thank you.
Well, no, it's terrifying. I'm using up 98% of my brain cells trying to set up my 1 or 2 shots that I know how to do. And that 2%, I need to start allocating more towards takedown defense. But even then, I don't think it would help. It's not good.
Well, thank you.
It's terrible.
I don't think of myself as an experienced or a technical wrestler, by the way. I have wrestled what I think are, I remember in high school, I had to wrestle the first and second state in Oklahoma, and it was terrifying. I remember that same feeling that you were talking about. And in my fear, I just took the shot. I was like, if I'm going to get taken down, I'm taking this. And he got the reversal, and he got it, But, one thing I do, I can't take credit for, I try to work on the explosiveness, right? And I think that, so it felt good. It felt good to finally deploy that, because I haven't really wrestled live with taking a shot like that. Because in most classes I drop in, we're not doing, you're not taking single leg. So it's been a long time since I've done a single leg. So, and the last time that I tried it, I got guillotined. Well, so you better believe I was going to come a little bit more committed this time.
Yeah. Well, just for context, when he talks about working on explosivity, Jordan does deadlift Decembers, and you're reaching high 400s on deadlift for smooth deadlifts. Like, you're not even necessarily maxing out. So to say that you have some explosivity, I think is an understatement. I just my opinion.
And a lot of jumping.
And just having seen it firsthand, I can, I'm not lying. You've got some explosivity. But okay, let's get into the rolls. Let's see what happens. You'll see pretty quickly that I reach a new level of fear when wrestling Jordan. Okay, here we go. So, I'm thinking, because we had just been that's how quick it was, everybody. We literally just started, and I'm thinking that I'm going to take Jordan down, and he just blast singles me. I don't know if there's such a thing as a blast single, but I know there's a blast double, but oh man, Oh,
That was your only rule to me. Every time we roll, just no blast doubles, no blast doubles.
I almost think maybe I would prefer a blast double compared to that. But yeah, I mean, like you didn't. I mean, did you really even set this thing up? Like, I think you
I
were
threw
just.
the arm
I'm
up. I think I
going.
tossed the arm up a little bit right there. Damn.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just all it is really a cue for me to drop. Damn, I tap up, I drop down.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That was not the prettiest drop, the prettiest shot I've ever seen in my life. I'm saying that as a jiu-jitsu guy, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's gonna go back and be like, "This is how you do a outside single or a low
Single it.
single or whatever it
No,
was."
not at all.
But with your speed and your strength and your commitment to it, just YOLOing it, I mean, there was zero chance that I was going to be able to stop that. I mean, it happened so fast, I didn't even consider doing a guillotine. I was already on my butt, getting driven into the wall, basically, back there before I even thought about anything. It was a staggering.
That was my hope.
It was
my hope.
There have been a couple of times. There have been a couple of times where you've, in a previous round, where you've like dropped to a knee and faked a shot, and I realize that you do it half a second later, and I'm whoa. And I've always kind of, wow, he's fast. Well, I mean, in real time, that is a super fast shot, especially for me. And man, that was definitely like the Michael Jordan poster. Like I just got dunked on in a very meaningful way. But now you're in my world. Okay. So now I gave you a goal of getting to mount, right?
Yep.
Because I felt like you needed something to keep in mind when you got on top of me, as opposed to just kind of smothering me.
Mm-hmm.
Were you thinking about getting to mount at all during any of this?
Yes.
Any of these times?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's something. Yep. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I could see you doing the things that you had taught me in the past about keeping that knee up, the connecting, the shrimping, and I'm like, damn it, not stopping it, can't stop it.
Well, we'll go over next time some defenses to me, because I think just your wrestling background in some ways doesn't help you too much, because you're spending too much time. For you, if you just lie on top of me with my shoulder blades on the ground, that's a win. Okay. But it's not really preventing me from doing a hip escape, and really, because in the amount of time that it takes me to connect my knee to my elbow and blah, 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 in a wrestling match, that's a pin, it's over. Yeah. So it's not really doing you too many favors. But in this case, I end up sweeping you, I think, as I normally do. I'm just saying.
And very smoothly too. Like,
yeah, this is a butterfly.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Why does this keep happening to me? Okay, so let's talk about that sweep just really briefly. So what I'm going to do is, you are cross-facing or you're underhooking with your right arm, right? When you do that, you are eliminating your ability to post with your right arm, because you're holding the underhook. That's not a bad thing. Like, getting that underhook with the right arm is actually something that you need to try to pass my half guard here. But you just don't catch on super quick when I'm about to sweep you. You keep the underhook. And therefore, and I also end up pinning your arm. So even when you do try to remove the underhook, you'll see that I pin you with my left arm. I pin that in tight. I'm going to get my right foot underneath your left leg, and I'm going to do what's called this is a half guard butterfly sweep. So right here, I managed to get my right foot in underneath your hip. Now look, you still have the underhook. I'm getting my own underhook on with my right arm. I'm getting an underhook. Yep. And that allows me to push, and then I'm going to pin with my other arm, and I'm going to lift with my right leg. So this is a key part right here. My left leg, you can't really see it. It's hidden behind you, right? But I am driving my left leg into the mat to generate the force to lift with my right leg, right? So if you've ever done like a sideways plank or something, which I'm sure you have a million times, and you lift up your top leg,
Yep.
you only have so much strength in doing that. And you're a heavy dude, especially from the waist down. And so for me, like, I've really got to drive into the mat with my left leg in order to get enough strength to lift up with my right leg. This was a problem the first time I tried to grapple with you back at CTA. I tried to butterfly sweep you, and you were just too heavy for me. your lower body. And so I've really worked on this with larger opponents, is not giving up on it and just really driving as much as I can with my bottom leg into the mat so I can lift more with my top leg. And I mean, I could have bailed on this halfway through, which I've done with you in the past. I go for it, I just don't feel like I quite have it, and then I bail on it.
Yeah.
But I was just like, he's going over one way or another.
Yeah, that was very smooth. It was,
but watch
like,
your
what
left,
the
watch your right arm. I'm pinning it.
Yeah.
That's a key part. Otherwise, you would have been able to put your arm out, base.
And this is where you give me some paybacks.
Giving you the business.
Enter in, get there at the elbow. Elbow comes in.
What's amazing to me though is look at you holding my my hand, my wrist, my right wrist with yours.
Yeah.
My God, man. When you grab a hold of my wrist, it becomes an all-consuming effort to break that grip. It is so hard. You are so strong with your grip. And I think it doesn't help that my wrists are these super tiny little lady wrists, but it's really like I need to work on this. I need to get better at breaking grips when people have me by the wrist because it is very difficult.
I always thought that I've had dainty wrist as well, so I do actively work on my grip strength.
I mean, I do too. Like I literally sit up here with one of these things and I go at it, but I'm telling you, you're very good at it. So you're still controlling my arm, my hand with your wrist. You can't really see it here. I think at some point you do a 2-on-1, both hands on that wrist.
Yeah, because
you're still holding my wrist. Look at this. I'm like, I cannot get this wrist out of his grip. I'm trying. It's like, and I end up bailing on it and going to north-south almost exclusively because I could not break your grip. See, you're still holding on to my, I mean, I bailed on knee on belly, to be totally candid, because I was trying to go for a Kimura, a far side Kimura. The same hand, the same arm that you're holding my wrist with, your left arm, there's a move that I can do where I pin your arm and I go for a Kimura and train and go up to north-south. But I cannot do
try that. Yeah, I knew you were trying something with that, and I think you did the same thing later on in our second round, maybe.
Yeah.
Where you're like, you stood up and you're like, push it.
Oh, that was from Mount. Yeah, but yeah. So I go to north-south here mostly to try to escape the wrist grip, and then you end up doing some crazy wrestling stuff and getting out. But I look at this, and you're obviously an explosive athlete, but I had opportunities here to take your back that I just totally whiffed on, and you're just faster than I normally, folks I normally have to deal with, and more explosive, which is good training for me for a competition, So that was our first little roll. Oh, I think that we just reset here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is where I was taunting you with my lead leg, saying, "Hey,
I know.
You want to come and take this and get a guillotine?" Like I'm literally sticking it out for you. Come on.
Because you told me I was shaking my head like, you ain't gonna get me.
I'm looking for a repeat of last week. And if I'm honest, I'm still a little frazzled from that takedown. I mean, that really did kind of rock my world. I haven't been put down like that in a long time.
Oh, I was so happy about this little clench of the legs thing I did there. Yeah. Move.
I need to keep working on. Yeah. But so I managed to get back to butterfly guard here, and then I made a strategic. I made a decision. Yeah, I made a decision to go to close guard to try. I could have stayed with butterfly and tried to sweep you in similar ways that I have in the past. Not saying that I would have succeeded, but from here I have a lot of options. I have inside position. I have a lot of things going for me. But as you and I have been working on close guard stuff, I decided I was going to give it a rip, and not to bore the viewer, our tens of viewers, but we end up in close guard here for I think like 2 minutes. It's not super interesting. I try to do a lot of things, but I'm not very successful. Again, you grab both my arm. When you grab my wrists, man, gosh, it is so hard for me to do anything. You put yourself here. You put yourself in an arm drag situation, right? You put both hands, like you have your arm across your own body. That is not a good. that's not ideal, right? I mean, you know from our drilling that I'm trying to get your arm across my body. You went and did it, but the difference is you grabbed my arm and would not let go, so I could not arm drag you to save my life. I was like, if I could just free my arm, then I could try to arm drag him. Oh, then I go for a top lock, for an arm bar. Couldn't do it. Yeah, this is two people that are pretty bad at grappling. Doing grappling. Look at you still have my hand pinned. I was just like, ugh.
I think of what I was trying to do.
You were gonna try to stick it under my body again. You're gonna try to put it under my back.
I was like, let me see if I can trap it with my knee here.
Yeah. So see, I have your arm across your body. See, I'm thinking this is gonna be great. I have your arm trapped across your body, but you have my other arm just pinned, and there is literally nothing I can do about it. I mean, you've been controlling this hand pretty much the entire time, and God bless you. I mean, I need to work on strength. I need to work on breaking grips. I need to do something, because this is a very frustrating way to grapple when another man is just dominating you and just grabs your hands, and there is nothing you can do about it. It's pretty emasculating, to be totally honest.
Well, my wrist hurts today because of it.
I'm just thinking, oh man. So I think at one point I actually opened my guard.
I'm trying to start to stand up, and I'm like,
well, you've also seen the movie where you stand up and I sweep you. So
yeah,
exactly. there are things.
Like, let me not do this.
You're still just manhandling me. Just, gosh. All right. At this point, I think I'm still trying to bring you across. Yeah. So we've been working on something in jiu-jitsu class where I open my guard, I swim under with my right arm, and then I try to get you into an arm bar. You'll see me try to do it here in a second. Right here. So I open it up. But you honestly don't behave in the same way that a lot of people do in jiu-jitsu. So the most common reactions here are for you to post up and try to control my left leg, like so the one that's on your right. Like and so from there I have an attack. But you just with the top pressure, there's nothing as far as I mean, I think the only thing I could try to do here is shoot an omoplata. But even then your arm's not in the right position for me to do it. So I opened my guard, swum under your leg, and then I was looking for one of the reactions that I see in jiu-jitsu class, and it was not there. And I was like, well, okay. And then I think I decided to try to go back to like a pendulum sweep, which I did not get. The buzzer sounded, and I was like, no, keep going. I think I can do this. And I tried to sweep you over, and I was like, oh no, he's too heavy. No.
I knew you were trying something. I was like, yeah, I'll let him try it.
Yeah, and I'm literally sitting there. Look at me. I'm staring at the ceiling, reevaluating my life, going, I just got absolutely blast singled onto my butt and smashed. And then when I finally decided to go to close guard, a place where I should have an advantage, having done jiu-jitsu for a year and a half, this guy just grabbed my hands and just pinned me to the ground and prevented me from doing anything. like what am I gonna tell my kids? Wrestlers, man. Pretty brutal.
They can't even react the right way.
and they just manhandle you. They just absolutely manhandle you. All right, okay. Let's move on here. So the second roll we did, you're officially in my head. I'm thinking this guy is going to take me down again. I didn't see it coming last time. I'm not going to see it coming this time. I'm trying to psych myself up. I give myself a little thumbs up to the camera. You come in chipper as ever. Watch this, everybody.
I've already won today. I just don't want me to lose.
I'm like, I'm going to snap him down. I saw that on a YouTube video one time. I think I go for a shot, trying to make myself feel better. I can take him down. I just know it. I think I can. Oh, you just toss me out of the way. Now, I probably shouldn't have kept my arm up like this. But watch, you just toss me when I go for the shot. No, you just push me with your left arm. No, thank you. Snap you down. Nothing happens. Just a brick wall.
It was a hard snap down, too. I mean, that was
I know.
heavy.
I made you move 6 inches.
I think I saw your feet come off the ground. You were like pushing on so hard. I was like, oh shit, what was that?
Okay, this is where you just humiliate me into a crumpled ball in the corner. I mean, you faked like 6 shots in a row, and I literally just end up curling up into a ball. Oh gosh, look at this. You start with just a oh god. Oh, how humiliating is that? That is so humiliating. I just know that I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna have to watch this and then post this online. Oh gosh. I
Hey,
try a
that's a
throw
good thing.
by, doesn't work. I go for another shot, pull guard. Now this is something I can't take away from you. This was a great guard pass. Okay, I have inside position, and you throw me by, and you manage to go around. Like that looks very simple. I mean, but it was super effective, and you saw where my frames were, and you just went right around it. You know, I'm thinking about just ending it all and tapping right here. I'm like, this has been a terrible round. Like, but I do manage to sweep you. I jump over, and why do I jump over, Jordan?
Not to get choked out.
Correct. We talked about this on the last podcast. I gotta get to the opposite side. So at least, like, I'm proud of myself for having figured that out. Like in real time, while I'm kind of getting just smashed by you. Like, got to jump over. I managed to evade your legs when I do it. I mean, I'm not happy here, right? Like, this is not a happy place for me. You've got me in a pretty good guillotine.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't soft. It wasn't super deep, but it wasn't. I mean, I was squeezing a little bit.
Right. Now, this is now, as much as how terrible today has been for me, or this role was for me, this was my best sequence I think that I've had with you. So I'm in side control right now. And what you're going to see over the course of the next 35, 40 seconds is I'm going to go through multiple different positions. I'm going to go from side control to knee on belly to north-south, back to knee on belly to mount, all in the space of like 30 seconds. And this is not that I'm in any way good at jiu-jitsu or high level, but this is what you see when you watch good jiu-jitsu players is they're not static in one position on top for long. They're flowing between multiple positions based upon what's there for you. In the last round, when I was in knee on belly for like a minute, and you were just grabbing my hand, and I was totally focused on doing one particular attack, and I stayed in knee on belly too long, and you eventually, got out of it and escaped. Right. This time, if it wasn't there, I was immediately going to flow to something else and take whatever you gave me, and eventually it's just going to mount. So side control here. Straight up to knee on, and once I eventually get myself out of this guillotine, thank you very much. Now I'm like, it's time to smash.
And you do.
Straight to knee on
Knee,
belly.
elbow.
Yeah. And so I really want to get your right arm into a Kimura, but you're not giving it to me. So I'm like, okay. Oh, here you sort of give it to me. So look, I go for the Kimura right here. And I try to go to north-south. But you kind of block me from going all the way to north-south.
Mm-hmm.
And I miss on the Kimura. So then I migrate back to knee on belly, and then boom, right to mount. And like I'm proud of that sequence. I should have done the Michael Jordan stick my tongue out thing.
I know, I was waiting for it. I saw you look at the camera.
But so
you're really going for that Kimura here.
I'm going for something called an Americana. It's a little different.
Americana,
It's similar, but a little different. But this is another situation where you're holding on to my wrists, and I'm like, I just got done with this dude in close guard where he was just dominating me by holding on to my wrist. Now I'm in mount. I have gravity on my side. He's still holding on to my wrists. I still can't get my wrists out of his grasp. Like I mean, it was demoralizing to be in this position. And when you have my wrist, it's so hard to get out of it. Watch me just yank my arms out. I'm like, screw this. Hiya! Come on, Bill, do it. Get your wrist. Yes. And then once I finally get my wrist free, I have to resort to a 2-on-1 on one of your wrists to get you to a side. Now, this might not look like anything to you, but everything here in the next 10 seconds is completely calculated like this is stuff that we train in jiu-jitsu. So I'm going to try to pin one of your arms to the side. Now, you end up turning. I don't think you recognize the danger of when I pin you to
No.
that side,
Oh,
but
I did. I did. I just didn't know what to do exactly.
well,
So
no,
it's
that
all pure
you have to
instinct.
turn. You have to turn.
Yeah.
But I think you also sensed that more of my weight was on that side, and so you were kind of doing you were looking for a weakness to exploit by rolling as well. But this is this is sort of a classic jiu-jitsu back take where you pin somebody's arm to threaten the Americana. They turn to try to protect their own arm. And when you turn, I'm supposed to grab a seatbelt position and then chair sit. I missed the chair sit, partially because you turn just faster than I was expecting you to. But I do end up getting a hook in and taking your back. And I could watch this all day. Like, I'm going to talk about how great I am as a 2-stripe white belt. So you turn, I transition to the seatbelt right here, get the hook in, take your back. Like, that is 100%, besides sort of missing the chair sit, like that's 100% what I was trying to do, was to take your back from that position. So I felt super good about that. Now, the fact that I couldn't finish you in the next minute, as you being somebody that doesn't really know any jiu-jitsu, is very disturbing to me. But I at least got to your back. And that's something. But yeah, again, you 2-on-1'd on one of my hands. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, one of my goals when I'm on your back is to essentially occupy your arms so that you have nothing to prevent me from choking you. You do it to yourself. You use both of your hands on one of my arms, leaving my other arm completely free to choke you. And I can't do it. So like, I need to spend time, and not to say that you don't have, I mean, you do have some physical attributes that absolutely help you, right? Not having much of a
Yeah, and
neck,
I,
being
I
super
really
strong, and
I leaned on them here, and as you can see, is I'm trying to pull you in. So my thought is, if I can pull you into over onto my left side, that right arm is not going to be long. You're not going to be able to loop it around my neck to choke me.
yeah,
Because I know
yeah.
my back is exposed. So like that's all I'm thinking is if I can throw you off at a bad angle, that you're not going to be able to get that arm around. Like, and that's why I committed to the 2-on, and I'm basically just sucking and pulling in at the same time, and like it's my Hail
Yeah,
Mary at this point.
I was a little high at this point. But let me just go back 2 seconds here. So this is what I'm talking about. You have both hands on my left hand, and for maybe it was a little bit prior to this. Yeah, I mean,
Right when you got me there, I switched to 2-on because I knew my back, and I was like, he's going to go for the choke.
so yeah, I went for the choke. I could not get it in, but like that's like, I should have just forget about fighting the two hands and just continue trying to choke you. Like, I've got you basically in a body triangle here. Like, this is a good position for me. I think I'm a little high, maybe like high on your body. I think I might need to be a little bit lower. Now, we do have a height difference. I'm 3 inches taller than you. But interested if anybody has thoughts on this out in our tens of viewers, if you think that I'm too high, because you do end up rolling through and I lose one of the hooks. So at this point, I'm like, I can't believe he's still just dominating me when it comes to hand fighting. So I know you think you were in like a great position here when you were
No,
gonna
no, I'm
like
not saying
get
no.
out.
I
Well,
wasn't.
I like, no, but you were about to make a move to try to get out. Like, I was definitely a little bit too high, but I was in the process of bringing you back. I was going to try to get you off your base and back onto your side and get my hook back in. Like, I still felt pretty comfortable with where I was at, but it's amazing to me that I am just so worthless, even on your back. Like, he's using 2 arms on this hand. I've got a whole arm free. All I have to do is just sink it in one way or another. And actually, it happened today in jiu-jitsu class as well. I took somebody's back. I did a great job getting there. I was like clapping myself on the back, thinking, I'm about to strangle this guy in front of my professor. I'm going to get another stripe on my belt on Monday. And then my professor just watches me fail to submit this guy for the next 2 minutes, even though I'm on his back for like 2 minutes. So it's definitely something I need to work on, especially ahead of my competition. So, but yeah. So, but I think we have more goals to try to accomplish next time around. I think you need to work a bit on on your top game, believe it or not, like as a wrestler, like I'm going to show you the proper way to sit in side control. You just leave too much space for me to do the knee elbow escape and get, all I need is one hook in from the bottom, and I have decent success in butterfly sweeping you. Maybe you just need to be a little bit smarter about when you feel hooks coming in, trying to remove them.
I think that's what it is, because had zero idea, I think, that they were going on. I remember thinking, like, when I first got you down, I was like, I'm going to try to do this, or, I was like, what could I do? And I feel you moving, but
you don't recognize the danger that when it's happening.
Exactly. I'm just like, do.
Smash. The only thoughts going through a wrestler's brain: smash. Exactly. And then before you know it, you're being swept onto your back by somebody 30 pounds lighter than you, and like that's the magic of jiu-jitsu, right? I mean,
exactly.
Like you have your magic on the feet, man. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, I spent a lot of time last night just reliving, because it's terrifying. You don't see it coming at all, like it's before you know it, you are on your butt. And that is terrifying to be in that situation. But I'm glad that we're doing it though, because I mean, I'm only going to get better, I think. And you're very conscientious in how you use your explosivity and your technique and everything like that. So, if you were just out there trying to kill me, like that would not be something I'm going for. So,
definitely not.
But at least this one, you can show your wife the takedown, as opposed to showing your wife getting guillotined.
Choked out. I did ask her. I told her we were going for a walk. I didn't show her the video or anything, but I said, yeah, Bill and I met up at Fight DadFightClub again. And she was like, oh, how'd you do this week? She was like nervous to ask. I was like, much better than last week, thank you. Yep. So I didn't go on to a bragging rant, but I was just like proud to say much better than last week.
Yeah, I don't bring it up with my wife at all. I think that she's still trying to figure out if this jiu-jitsu thing is a fad that I'm going to stop doing or what. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I've been doing it for like a year and a half, and I'm only doing it more and more, not less and less. So I think it's past fad.
Yeah. And I think the better you get to, you get more small wins and more successes. In the beginning, it could be a bit demoralizing, just getting mangled every time. I enjoy it, so it's fun for me, but like some people don't enjoy the physicality of it all. And, there's tons of memes and these, Instagram stuff, but there's a certain type of punishment that you kind of go through, kind of earning your way through it all.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't quite done that because I'm only getting it through one person versus going to classes regularly. I mean, when you go to the classes and you're getting cycled through everybody, the few times that I've jumped in with you, I mean, it's the meat grinder, man.
Yeah.
Meat grinder.
That's definitely true. But I can tell you that, like, I feel I am getting better. So I did a lot of the same things today in class that we did yesterday, that, going to neon belly, going to north-south, hunting the Kimura, going for the back take. And I'm doing it with people that are 180 pounds, 190 pounds, but not Jordan, not just absolute studs. And it is just so much easier. It's, the doing these things to you, even though you don't have the experience on the ground, just when you do make a move, it happens so much faster. So it's like I'm leveling up skills on things that I already know how to do, but I'm having to react to them quicker doing them with you, even though you don't have quite the skill. But it's terrifying to think where you will be when you invest. You're investing time already, but investing even more time in skill development. Yeah. It's going to be, I better go to jiu-jitsu class more than you and maintain my technical, gap, because the physical gap is so large that if you even just get up to basic white belt level stuff, I think it's going to be very challenging for most people to go with you. So on that note, we're at 41 minutes, longest podcast yet. Let's peace out.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. See you next week.
See you later, man.
All right. Bye.